1. When designing a training module for new paranormal investigators, which approach best aligns with adult learning principles? A. Relying solely on lecture-based presentations. B. Using hands-on field simulations with immediate feedback. C. Providing long reading assignments without context. D. Memorization of historical case studies. 2. During an evidence review session, which method best promotes critical thinking among adult learners? A. Allowing learners to simply observe recordings. B. Encouraging discussion and peer analysis of ambiguous findings. C. Requiring learners to submit yes-no answers on data validity. D. Having the instructor give definitive conclusions immediately. 3. In curriculum development for CPI certification, what should be the primary driver for selecting content? A. Instructor preference. B. Participant entertainment value. C. Competency requirements for certified investigators. D. Availability of multimedia resources. 4. Which of the following communication techniques is most effective for de-escalating conflict during a group investigation? A. Raising one's voice to gain control. B. Using reflective listening to validate concerns. C. Ignoring emotional outbursts to stay focused on evidence. D. Taking sides to resolve disagreement quickly. 5. A CPI trainer is developing an assessment tool for ethical decision-making. Which assessment type would best evaluate higher-order reasoning? A. Multiple choice quiz with one-word answers. B. Scenario-based case study requiring justification of decisions. C. True-false statements about policy. D. Simple matching of terms and definitions. 6. During mentoring, which strategy best supports a novice investigator's confidence while building skills? A. Critiquing every mistake in detail immediately after observation. B. Giving responsibility gradually with guided support. C. Avoiding feedback to allow independent growth. D. Providing only written manuals without field coaching. 7. Which step should be prioritized to ensure regulatory compliance during paranormal evidence collection? A. Archiving evidence without documentation. B. Obtaining property owner permissions and signed releases. C. Sharing raw footage on social media before review. D. Allowing any team member to edit evidence files. 8. In developing CPI training objectives, which element is most essential? A. Objectives should be vague to allow flexibility. B. Objectives should be learner-centered, specific, and measurable. C. Objectives should primarily reflect instructor expertise. D. Objectives should be informal and optional. 9. When facilitating a debriefing session after a night investigation, which technique is most appropriate to foster adult engagement? A. Allowing only the team leader to speak. B. Encouraging collaborative reflection and self-assessment. C. Delivering a lengthy lecture about proper procedures. D. Asking learners to memorize their findings. 10. A CPI instructor must ensure adherence to data privacy regulations. Which action best demonstrates compliance? A. Encrypting and securely storing client case files. B. Sharing evidence openly for crowdsourced analysis. C. Leaving investigation notes in public areas. D. Allowing unauthorized team members to access recordings. 11. Which feedback approach is most effective when coaching an investigator who mishandled EMF equipment? A. Publicly criticizing the mistake during team briefing. B. Privately reviewing what went wrong and demonstrating correct use. C. Ignoring the mistake to avoid hurting morale. D. Assigning punishment to reinforce discipline. 12. In designing curriculum for CPI, why is needs assessment important? It guarantees entertainment for learners. B. It aligns training content with actual skill gaps and job roles. C. It eliminates the need for ongoing evaluation. D. It reduces instructor preparation time. 13. Which of the following best exemplifies formative evaluation in CPI training? A. Administering a final exam at course completion. B. Giving ongoing quizzes and adjusting instruction based on results. C. Providing certificates to those who finish training. D. Conducting only end-of-program surveys. 14. When mentoring, which action demonstrates modeling professional investigation behavior? A. Skipping proper documentation to save time. E. Showing respect for clients and evidence protocols consistently. C. Delegating all responsibilities to mentees without oversight. D. Refusing to explain decisions during fieldwork. 15. Which of the following is a key element in developing performance-based CPI assessments? A. Focus on rote memorization. B. Inclusion of real-world tasks that reflect actual investigations. C. Limiting assessments to multiple choice only. D. Randomized questions unrelated to field practice. 16. A regulatory update affects data storage requirements. What should a CPI program developer do first? A. Wait until next training cycle to update materials. B. Immediately revise training content and notify participants. C. Remove all references to data storage from curriculum. D. Assume learners will find out through self-study. 17. During a live investigation training, what is the best way to handle a learner who dominates group discussion? A. Interrupt and shut down their participation. E. Redirect conversation by asking others for input. C. Ignore them until they stop talking. D. End the session early. 18. Which adult learning theory emphasizes the use of prior experience as a resource for learning? A. Behaviorism. B. Andragogy. C. Constructivism. D. Operant conditioning. 19. What is the most appropriate method for evaluating learner satisfaction in CPI training? A. Conducting a post-training reaction survey. B. Scoring a written exam. C. Measuring field investigation accuracy. D. Reviewing evidence quality reports. 20. Which communication strategy is crucial when presenting findings to skeptical stakeholders? A. Using technical jargon to establish authority. B. Presenting clear, evidence-based data with transparency. C. Avoiding questions to maintain control. D. Emphasizing personal beliefs over data. 21. When creating a mentorship plan, what is the best way to track mentee progress? A. Rely solely on verbal updates. B. Use a structured log with documented milestones and feedback. C. Avoid documentation to save time. D. Conduct a single evaluation at the end. 22. Which of the following is a summative evaluation measure for CPI certification? A. Observation of learners mid-course. B. Administering the final certification exam. C. Giving ungraded practice activities. D. Holding open Q&A sessions. 23. What is the most ethical approach if a CPI trainer discovers a participant falsifying investigation data? A. Ignore the issue to avoid conflict. E. Address privately, document the incident, and follow program policy. C. Publicly accuse them during class. D. Immediately expel them without investigation. 24. When updating training materials, which factor ensures continued instructional effectiveness? A. Removing outdated procedures and aligning with current best practices. B. Leaving content unchanged to maintain tradition. C. Adding unrelated topics for variety. D. relying on learner feedback alone without expert review. 25. What is the main benefit of using peer mentoring in CPI programs? It reduces need for formal instruction entirely. B. It allows learners to share knowledge and reinforce skills collaboratively. C. It guarantees identical investigation styles. D. It eliminates the role of senior mentors. 26. Which approach best helps adult learners transfer CPI training into practice? A. Provide immediate opportunities to apply skills in simulated investigations. Require learners to wait several months before using skills. C. Teach theory only without practice. D. Rely solely on self-paced e-learning modules. 27. Which of these is a key step in designing a CPI investigation protocol that meets compliance standards? A. Documenting chain of custody for evidence. B. Allowing informal handling of data. C. Skipping signed consent forms. D. Sharing client information freely. 28. When facilitating learning, which question type best encourages critical reflection? A. Questions requiring yes/no answers. B. Leading questions with obvious answers. C. Open-ended questions prompting analysis of decisions. D. Repetitive recall questions. 29. Which mentoring style is most effective for experienced but unmotivated investigators? A. Directive style with clear performance expectations. B. Completely hands-off approach. C. Avoidance of goal-setting conversations. D. Only offering praise without constructive feedback. 30. A CPI trainer is asked to justify the inclusion of safety procedures in the curriculum. Which is the strongest rationale? A. They make investigations more exciting. B. They minimize risk to participants and clients. They help fill training hours. They are optional but nice to include.